So for the longest time, I told people not to buy the SM7B for a couple reasons. One, most people don't know how to process it, and two, it's an immensely quiet microphone. I mean, most modern day amps can kind of handle it, but it's something that I didn't really want people to have to mess with, and it's something that I didn't want to mess with. And that's the reason I originally went with this, the Logitech Blue Sona, which is a really solid microphone. It sounds fantastic. I've been using it for the past however many months, and it is a really good microphone. But the reason I wanted people to get this is that it has a built-in amplifier. This microphone, if it wasn't built into this thing, would probably be really quiet. And that's what the SM7B was for the longest time, until very recently. You'll notice that this is what looks like an SM7B. And for all intents and purposes, it absolutely is. But this is the SM7 DB, which is a completely different microphone. It's not. It's the same microphone, but it has one fundamental difference. The difference is it's not quiet. This microphone has the same sort of technology that Logitech has in their Blue Sona. It has a built-in amplifier. And I honestly do really love the SM7B's sound. I think it sounds great. I think it sounds flat. I think it's boring to start with. But I think that's the beauty of it. I think it's boring because then you can do anything with it. And the real reason I just don't recommend it to people most of the time is because A, it's quiet, and B, it's hard to process. But I finally, when this one came out, when the SM7 DB came out recently, I finally was like, I should get one. I don't know why. It was probably a bad financial decision. I just didn't want to deal with the SM7B being quiet. I didn't want to have to deal with that. And I didn't really want to deal with the processing, but the processing was like, oh, I can do that. Like, I don't have any problems with doing the processing. It's just quiet. I've said that multiple times now. The point is, this microphone has two different settings of extra gain when it comes into your computer, and it requires phantom power, but it's a fantastic thing. It's a great addition because it's just all the same SM7B goodness with the same capsule and all that stuff, but it comes with the addition of extra gain, which is exactly the complaint of so many audio engineers over many, many years. This microphone is 50 years old, by the way. This is a 50-year-old microphone. Michael Jackson used this microphone. Obviously not this version specifically, but he used the SM7, which was the original version of this microphone, which then turned into the SM7A, because that had like a couple random changes, and then the SM7B, which had some fundamental changes with like how it handles noise and, you know, a couple other things. But this microphone design has pretty much stayed the same through 50 years. And that alone is kind of like a big deal, because a microphone that's been around for 50 years, like that's crazy. So the fact that this was their like second update, technically second big update to the microphone, obviously the A to B, SM7A to the SM7B was kind of like a small jump. So I guess that one doesn't really count, but the SM7 DB is kind of a big jump because it does incorporate that new cloud lifter technology. I keep saying cloud lifter, but even it's technically just an amplifier. It gives you the option to add 18 decibels or 28 decibels of gain, and this guy adds 25 decibels of gain, which is great. And I love that this adds that just simple 25 decibels of gain. So this is an excellent microphone. I highly recommend the Blue Sona. It's a wonderful purchase, and I do not regret this thing at all. But I also now have a Shure SM7 microphone that I can recommend to streamers, content creators, all those people. I can recommend this one to people. You want to know why? Because first of all, I'm using it right now, and it does sound really good. But the other reason is because it has that built-in preamp cloud lifter amplifier thing, and I love that. That makes me so happy. As someone that went to college for audio and cinema in general, this makes me so happy that they added this, because the SM7 is legendary, and it sounds so good. Like, there's so many things about it. It handles dynamics well. It sounds really nice. It's a super beautiful flat frequency response. So many nerdy things that most people will not understand, but that I love, and I think they're just fantastic. By the way, do you like this Star Wars hat I got at Disney World? I'm a big fan. It looks really good. So yeah, I just wanted to, sit down, let you know that, yeah, I have this one now. Oh, I actually really also like the Shure logo on the side. I think that looks really clean. I also went ahead and took this yoke off and then swapped it the other way. So I like flipped it around so that this side of the mic looks really clean. It doesn't have this cable coming out of it. I like that. I'm going to try to like hide the cable just because it looks a little bit cleaner this way. And then this XLR jack is on the bottom of this thing instead of the top. So it feels a little bit less cluttered for me. It comes with it flipped the other way. So this microphone is kind of spun around and then the yoke is the other way around. But I wanted to do it this way just for the sake of the beauty of it. So I modified this. I actually fully took off the yoke and swapped it around and then fixed it back again. So this is not the standard configuration for the SM7 DB. This is like SM7b in general. This is not the standard configuration, but this is, you can obviously easily do this. Anyways, this was very nerdy, but hi, second channel. I haven't seen you in a while. Hopefully that makes sense. Now I can recommend the SM7 DB to people. I was, for the longest time, like I said, didn't want to recommend the SM7B. I think it's a fantastic sounding mic, but a lot of people just don't know how to process it. If you can get through the processing side of it, this thing sounds fantastic. Like you're hearing it right now. It sounds really good. But for most people, get a USB mic. This one right here, this is the PreSonus Revelator Dynamic. That one's great because it has built-in audio processing, and that's nice. Big fan of that. Also, the Elgato stuff has some great processing in it, and then the Beacon mic also has some great processing. So all those mics, really good. Big fan. But this is finally the SM7B that I am happy with and that I am confident in and that I actually bought because I actually do genuinely like it. So that's my thoughts. I'm a fan. Anyways,